Alright fans, welcome back in the second half of tonight's RWL Rage in Richmond, Virginia. About to get underway, Don Hickson here with Myron Schimmelman and Christy Ogilvie. And the second hour, 4 more great matches lined up this evening, including a main event which you are simply not going to believe. That's absolutely true. Macho Man Randy Savage, the new Legends World Champion, taking on the one and only living legend Bruno Sammartino in the main event. Now there's one you're not going to want to miss.
Plus, Les Femmes Fatale defending the Rage Women's Tag titles against AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart Anu. Timeless Toni Storm is back after Dion the Titan has busted her up a couple of weeks ago. Still on her tour of experiencing everybody and everything, and tonight, going straight to the top woman, Dynamite Jeannie Parker.
Welcome back, everyone. Our second half opener is a non-title match, scheduled for one fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from the Gold Coast of Australia, here is Timeless Toni Storm.
The Timeless one back with us tonight, and it's been a couple of weeks since Madam Snoo gave Toni Storm an experience, that she's likely not going to be forgetting for a minute, but full marks for guts. She's AEW's top woman star for a reason, and she don't back down from a fight, even if her motivations get a little Yigno-Diddy level weird sometimes. That's why Jeannie Dynamite signed this one for tonight. She knows Toni Storm and Liberty Belle Danielle, they've got themselves an appointment at Coliseum Games. So Dynamite wants Toni Storm off her schedule, win or lose in this non-title matchup, because she says she respects Toni Storm as a wrestler, but thinks she clowns just a little too much. Don't know that she's right or not about that, but Jeannie Dynamite is definitely going to give Toni Storm a memorable match.
That's why we put it together, Christy. We knew it would be, well, a dynamite match. That was a horrible, horrible pun, Myron, even for you.
Her opponent from Richmond, Virginia, she's an RWL double champion and the reigning RWL Women's World Champion. The sexy soul sister of the squared circle, the Queen, Dynamite. Jeannie Parker.
Jeannie Parker rarely arriving to the ring, shabbily dressed, and this red leather catsuit is no exception. Dynamite Jeannie Parker, always sporting the finest when she makes her way down to the ring. And she makes no exception this evening for this non-title matchup with Timeless Toni Storm, the unbelievable, phenomenal woman of RWL, 7+ years as Women's World Champion. Well, Timeless Toni Storm has taken on many challengers in RWL, and tonight she's going straight for the top against Dynamite Jeannie Parker. Wonder how this one's going to turn out. Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. They come center ring. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Jeannie Parker whips Toni Storm to the far right corner. She counters with an elbow, locks up Jeannie Parker, gets her into the corner. Drapes the leg over the middle rope, delivers a kick to the calf of Jeannie Parker. Timeless Toni Storm with a kick and a chop. Parker retaliating right back, rounds her back up into a bear hug. Almost at once, Toni Storm forced to battle her way out. She finally succeeds in doing so. Sets up Parker for a wheelbarrow jawbreaker. Wow, that was unorthodox right there. Hard forearm to Jeannie Parker, takes her down to the canvas. Timeless Toni Storm has since faced Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote and Dion the Titaness. And tonight, going after the Women's World Champion, there's a scoop slam from Timeless Toni Storm. Up on the middle rope. Here she comes, double axe handle right across the top of the head of Dynamite Jeannie Parker. Parker rounded up into a drop toe hold and too close to the ropes for a submission. So says the referee. Toni Storm flips Parker over. She got in mind here. Oh, well, swing and a miss. Jeannie Parker slips out the back door. And look at this, the power of Jeannie Dynamite military press slam to Timeless Toni Storm. Tries for the double axe handle, but winds up catching another wheelbarrow jawbreaker. And Toni Storm covers, hooks the leg. Well, not even a one. How about this right here? Oh, the look. Jeannie Parker just shot Toni Storm. Toni Storm with a Hurricane Rana on the women's world champion. An elbow takes Parker down to the canvas again and into a deliberate choke. Timeless Toni Storm catches a kick to the side of the head from Dynamite Jeannie Parker, a stomp to the midsection. And Jeannie Parker pinning her down just about center ring with a little display of power and a stomp to the back. Jeannie Dynamite, the longest ever reigning women's world champion in RWL history, slams Toni Storm's head into the turnbuckle, drives a knee into the throat of the Timeless One. Dynamite Jeannie Parker turning things around here after Toni Storm started out rather aggressively. The Timeless One being escorted to the far right corner by Parker, head first into the turnbuckle she goes. Jeannie Dynamite gathers her up for a scoop slam, takes herself to the middle rope, and here it goes, crossbody to Toni Storm off the middle, and a little bit of showboating right there from the women's world champion. Jeannie Parker catches a leg sweep from Toni Storm, rolls to the outside. Toni Storm up on the top turnbuckle changes her mind on the high-risk maneuver and goes directly after Parker. Instead catches a jab right to the face from Jeannie Dynamite, and another Hurricane Rana to Jeannie Parker on the outside with the referee counting. Neck breaker drop from Toni Storm. Jeannie Dynamite catches a kick and a chop, retaliating back with a chop and a knee and a right and a boot to the face of Timeless Toni Storm. Wow. Dynamite Jeannie Parker takes her down on the outside. The referee still counting, and neither lady seems to care very much. Up over the shoulder she goes, reverse dominator from Dynamite Jeannie Parker. A stomp right to the face of Timeless Toni Storm. There's a knee right to the side of the head. Timeless Toni Storm now on the receiving end of the business at the hands of the women's world champion. Jeannie Dynamite drives her almost into the ring steps, nails her with a jumping elbow. Jeannie Parker gathers up Timeless Toni Storm again, gets her back inside the ring finally, and she looks like she's hurting. Dynamite Jeannie Parker. Oh, it looks like she's warming it up here. Look at this. Whoa! A beautiful clothesline with some art behind it. Dynamite Jeannie Parker escorts Toni Storm towards center ring. Covers and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, and no. Toni Storm refusing to give up the ship, getting up that left shoulder before the count of 3. A drop kick evaded by Toni Storm. Jeannie Parker locked up by Toni Storm, whipped to the ropes. Here's a duck under, and whoa! Jeannie Parker winds up on the outside apron, catches a drop kick from Timeless Toni Storm once again. Jeannie Parker on the outside, and here comes Toni Storm right after her. Parker rounds her up. Oh, pump handle slam, but winds up catching a couple of knees after an attempted splash. Parker counters Toni Storm again, gathers her back up, tries to drive her back into the ring and almost into the apron. Oh, whoa, just dropped her on her back on the outside, now into an armbar stretch. Dynamite Jeannie Parker not playing games with Toni Storm. The Timeless One escorted back inside the ring. Jeannie Parker off the top turnbuckle. There's an elbow right across the chest. Jeannie Dynamite covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and this one is a wrap. Put it in the books. Dynamite Jeannie Parker picking up the win over Toni Storm by pinfall.
Here's the time, 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Here's your winner, Dynamite Jeannie Parker.
While you have to admit Timeless Toni Storm gave it her very best effort, it was not enough. Against the sexy soul sister of the squared circle, Dynamite Jeannie Parker picking herself up yet another win. We'll be right back with more RWL Rage in just a moment.
Coming up, the Rage Women's Tag titles on the line with Jet Williams and Goddess Mimi Emerson. Les Femmes Fatale defending the belts against AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart.
You know, everybody last month figured that it would be Jody Vorek and Faye Crawford that would finally succeed in taking the Rage Tag Team titles away from Les Femmes Fatales, but obviously they didn't do that. So now it falls to AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart. Let's see if they've got a shot. They're a great team, and they could pull an upset.
Theoretically possible, Myron, but not very likely considering how well and how intensely Les Femmes Fatales train, along with the women's world champion Dynamite Jeannie Parker.
That seems to be the general consensus. Parker and her girls rarely lose.
Intense training and clean wins. That's what kept Les Femmes on the top of the pile all this time. Consistently winning isn't as big as deal when you gotta cheat like a mug, and Les Femmes always wrestle a fair match.
And here they come now. Dynamite Jeannie Parker, the women's world champion. Flushed with her win over Timeless Tony Storm just a little bit earlier, along with Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson together, they are the ladies tag trio champions. But Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson, the current holders of the Rage Women's Tag Team Championships, the titles in question tonight. And can AJ Lee and Chelsea Blackheart pull off an upset over Les Femmes Fatales? Well, that is what we're all here to find out.
I don't see it. You too. Actually, Jody and Faye had a better chance last month than Shotzi and AJ Lee got going here. I don't think they can beat on Jet and Mimi.
Well, it sounds like we got some Shotzi Blackheart fans.
This ladies tag match, one fall, with a 20-minute time limit, is for the Rage Women's Tag Team Championships. The challengers here are AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart. Their opponents, Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson, the Rage Women's Tag Team Champions, Les Femmes Fatales.
Boy, get a look at those two. Not looking at AJ Lee and Shotzi, mind you, but looking right through them.
They certainly have a presence about them, don't they? Well, so it's going to be Shotzi Blackheart and Jet Williams starting off in this tag team title matchup as Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, and we are on our way. They lock it up. Jet Williams with a kick right to the midsection of Shotzi. Off the lower rope, but no dice. The moonsault does not find the mark. Shotzi with an arm snap on Jet Williams, parlayed into an armbar. Jet Williams in a little bit of trouble right now as AJ Lee comes in on the tag. Jet Williams finally back to a standing position, locks it up with AJ Lee. There's a kick to the midsection. Jet winds up the arm on AJ and takes her for a little walk across the ring. Off the top rope, beautiful Japanese arm drag from Jet Williams as Dynamite Jeannie Parker looks on. Still flushed with her victory over Tony Storm. Snap suplex to AJ Lee. Here comes Mimi Emerson. Goddess Mimi locks it up with AJ Lee. Drives both knees into the face of AJ Lee. Follows that up, driving the knee into the canvas. Turns it back over to Jet Williams. Les Femmes Fatales, a very efficient tag team for sure. Jet Williams sets it up. There's a wheelbarrow suplex from Jet Williams. AJ Lee rounded up again. Wound up into a DDT. Driven face first into the canvas and a hard kick to the midsection. Jet Williams quickly up on the top turnbuckle. Here she comes. Misses with the elbow. AJ Lee stepping out of the way just in time. She's got Jet Williams by the throat. Slams her down to the canvas. AJ Lee gathers up Jet Williams, a face buster, as she turns around and turns it back over to Shotzi Blackheart. Jet Williams makes it back to a standing position. Shotzi catches another kick to the midsection from Jet. Jet Williams drives the knee into the arm of Shotzi Blackheart. Turns it back over to Mimi Emerson. Shotzi making her way back to a standing position. Mimi catches a kick. Shotzi escorts her towards the corner, slams her head into the turnbuckle. Rounds up Mimi Emerson, hangs her up in the tree of woe in her corner. And there's a kick right to the chest. Mimi Emerson counters and delivers a kick right to the face of Shotzi Blackheart. Mimi Emerson catching elbows to the midsection from Shotzi. Shotzi drives a knee into the midsection again. Another kick to the gut.
This time from Mimi Emerson off the ropes, fails to connect with the moonsault. Shotzi goes behind, and a side suplex. To Mimi Emerson, followed up with a kick to the chest as AJ Lee takes over for her team. Again, the Rage Women's Tag Team Championships in the balance in this matchup as Mimi drives both knees into the back of AJ Lee. AJ Lee set up for another DDT face first into the mat. Followed up with another stomp to the arm. Mimi Emerson really starting to open up here. AJ Lee counters with a kick to the midsection. Another hard spin kick to the gut, this time to AJ Lee. And Mimi Emerson with a rear chin lock on AJ Lee near the corner. Referee Walt Rothburn monitoring the situation. Mimi Emerson finally releasing the hold. AJ Lee was in it for a short time. AJ Lee being escorted to Les Femmes Fatale's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle she goes. Mimi Emerson rebounds off the ropes, but catches a clothesline that spins her over like a record. AJ Lee with the fast counter on Mimi Emerson. Escorts Emerson to her team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Mimi. AJ Lee with a hard right takes her down into a seated position in the corner. Mimi Emerson counters with a kick quickly, gets back up, gets a hold on AJ Lee, and whoa! That was beautiful. Oh, well now. That was beautiful. Here's a pin. 1, 2. Mimi Emerson with a little bit of fancy razzle-dazzle on AJ Lee. Mimi winds it up. Ooh! Drop kick to the side of the head of AJ Lee. As Goddess Mimi Emerson takes herself to the top turnbuckle, far right corner. Turns herself around. Here it comes. Moonsault. Beautifully executed by Mimi Emerson. Mimi turns it back over to Jet Williams. And the advantage is all in the hands of Les Femmes Fatale at the present time. Jet Williams catches an elbow to the midsection from AJ Lee. Lee slams her down to the canvas head first. Turns around, beats it out of town, and turns it over to Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi with a kick to the gut of Jet Williams. Rounds up Jet over her shoulders in a fireman's carry, but Jet Williams counters with a series of elbows, disengages her, delivers a kick to the gut, winds up the arm on Shotzi this time, takes her for a walk towards the corner. Off the rope again, another beautiful Japanese arm drag, pitching Shotzi Blackheart towards center ring. There's a moonsault to follow that up. Les Femmes Fatale, incredibly quick. Mimi Emerson comes in on the tag. Shotzi Blackheart laid out center ring. Shotzi catches the kick to the back. Mimi Emerson gathers her right back up. Tries to set up the wheelbarrow, but no dice. Catches a knee to the head from Shotzi instead, and here comes AJ Lee on the tag. As AJ and Shotzi try to battle back into this one to gain the Women's Rage Women's Tag Team Championships. AJ Lee with a set of elbows to the head of Mimi Emerson. Whips her to the far right corner. AJ Lee with a hard forearm to the face of Mimi. AJ rounds her up by the ankles, alley-oops her up out of the corner, and gathers up Mimi Emerson again. Sets it up. Whoa! Beautiful snap suplex from AJ Lee. That had some force behind it as Shotzi Blackheart comes in on the tag, taking over for her team. Mimi Emerson back to a standing position here, and whoa, winds it up, delivers a kick to the leg and a jab to the face, a slap across a left. Look at this right here. And then drives a knee into the midsection of Shotzi Blackheart for good measure. Drives a knee into the arm as Mimi turns it over to Jet Williams. Les Femmes Fatale determined to hang on to the Rage Women's Tag titles. There's a moonsault from Jet. Jet rounds up Shotzi. Whoa! What a kick to the head for Shotzi Blackheart as Mimi Emerson is brought in again. Fast, frequent tags from Les Femmes Fatale. There's a stomp to the leg of Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi counters with both boots quickly, gets herself back up to a standing position, turns it quickly over to AJ Lee. Mimi Emerson catches a kick. And woof! What an enziguri. Right to the side of the head of Mimi Emerson. And she caught it full. AJ Lee rounds her back up. Slams her face down into the canvas, turns it around, walks out, and turns it back over to Shotzi Blackheart. Admittedly, their team also working pretty efficiently. There's a couple of kicks to Mimi Emerson. There's a kick to the leg. Shotzi Blackheart rounds up Mimi. There's a hard right, there's a knee, there's another right, a chop across the chest, and whoa, what a haymaker that was from Shotzi. Mimi Emerson laid out center ring as AJ Lee comes in on the tag, and the momentum is now beginning to shift towards AJ and Shotzi. AJ Lee, look at this, into an octopus stretch on Mimi Emerson's center ring. Mimi finds her way out, turns it into a sidewalk slam somehow. Mimi Emerson, caught from behind, delivers an elbow to AJ Lee. Sets her up into a headlock. There's a headlock punch, takes her down to her knees and then down to the canvas. And now back into that rear chin lock again. Mimi Emerson stretching AJ Lee for all she is worth. She might even get a submission. Jet Williams prepared to make a rescue if necessary. AJ Lee catches a stomp from Mimi. Mimi Emerson all the way up on the top turnbuckle here. Here we go. Big crossbody right across AJ Lee's body. And here comes Jet Williams again. Les Femmes Fatales quickly regaining the momentum here. 1, 2, but no. On near fall only. AJ Lee powering out with some power. There's a drop kick to the back of the head of AJ Lee. Jet Williams definitely steps over, makes her way to the middle ropes on the turnbuckle, and boom, another beautiful moonsault from Jet Williams. Jet Williams drives a knee into the arm of AJ Lee. AJ Lee starting to take some serious punishment at this point. Jet Williams off the bottom rope and another beautiful moonsault. And then a standing moonsault. Jet Williams covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, up. Almost. Very, very close. As near to a near fall as you could get. AJ Lee still in there punching. There's another moonsault from Jet Williams as Mimi Emerson and Shotzi start to go at it on the outside. Oh, a suplex on the outside to Mimi Emerson from Shotzi. Shotzi stomping on Mimi Emerson. Jet Williams on the top turnbuckle targeting AJ Lee on the outside. Here she comes, and oh! That almost did not work. She got AJ Lee, but she caught some of it herself. A facebuster from Shotzi to Mimi Emerson on the outside. The referee now counting AJ Lee and Jet Williams. An elbow to the face from AJ Lee. An elbow to the face from Jet Williams. Jet Williams goes behind. Whoa! Dude, what a tilt-a-whirlican Rana you got right there from Jet Williams. That was art. Jet makes her way back inside the ring. The referee continuing to count AJ Lee. Shotzi Blackheart and Mimi Emerson still going at it on the outside on the opposing side of the ring. Mimi Emerson is laid out. Jet Williams deciding not to investigate here. Time is running out. Oh, look at this. AJ Lee going after Jeannie Parker. She has lost her mind, driven headfirst into the ring post for that one. Jet Williams defending her manager and her friend. Rolls out of the way of AJ Lee's shot. There's a elbow to the leg and a slap across the chest from Jet Williams to AJ Lee. AJ Lee taken down again. There's another drop kick to the side of the head. Mimi Emerson finally back at her tag corner. Jet Williams makes her way back inside the ring. Jet and Mimi both watching AJ Lee patiently. The referee still continuing to count. AJ Lee is on Dream Street. Well, now, time is running out for AJ Lee. She better, well, Jet Williams decides to restart the count, takes herself out there to get after AJ Lee. Gets her by the ankles, and there's the whirly gig. AJ Lee taken for a ride on the outside onto the floor. AJ Lee tossed towards the ring steps, but Jet Williams makes her way back inside the ring. The referee still counting AJ Lee. Again, this is a Rage Women's Tag Title match. AJ Lee rakes the back of Jet Williams on the outside. Jet goes behind on her. Quickly counters the suplex. AJ Lee, pretty impressive on that one. But, whoa, another quick counter, avoiding a DDT. Jet Williams in a seated position on the outside. AJ Lee needs to hustle, get it back inside the ring. She is confused at this point. She should never have gone after Dynamite Jeannie Parker. who I do believe has been ejected through no fault of her own, and AJ Lee may come to pay for that at some point in the future. The referee continuing to count. Jet Williams finally back to a standing position. AJ Lee rounds her up over the shoulder, takes a walk with her towards the apron, and slams her head first into the lip of it. Makes her own way back inside the ring. Jet Williams quickly back to a standing position. Mimi Emerson tags AJ Lee with a right off the top rope, and a Hurricane Rana to AJ Lee from Mimi Emerson. A little quick assist to Jet Williams. Jet Williams gets her by the ankles again, and there's another whirly gig for AJ Lee, this time on the inside. Jet rounds up AJ Lee, escorts her to the Femme Fatale's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes AJ Lee. Here comes Mimi Emerson on the tag. And here comes a double team. Off the top, flying shoulder to AJ Lee as Mimi Emerson takes over for Les Femmes Fatales. AJ whipped into the corner. Mimi Emerson sits her up on the top turnbuckle. This is going to be bad news right here. Look at this. Whoa! Straight jacket suplex off the top. Here's a pin, a cover, and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. That is going to do it. Les Femmes Fatales retaining the Rage Women's Tag Team Championships. Let's get the official time.
Here's the time. 14 minutes and 46 seconds. Your winners, and still, Rage Women's Tag Champions, Les Femmes Fatales.
Well done. It seems we got to give it to Christy. She definitely called it. Les Femmes Fatales retaining the Rage Women's Tag Team Championships over Shotzi Blackheart and AJ Lee. In pretty impressive fashion, too. I have to concur with you, Myron. Christy Ogilvy, yes, you did certainly call this one. You saw it ahead of everyone else. That AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart didn't have as much of a chance as Faye Crawford and Jody Vorak had last month, and you were certainly right on that one. Les Femmes Fatales battling back to retain the Rage Women's Tag titles. We'll be back with more RWL Rage in just a moment.
Okay, this one's interesting. Ringside Army alum Troll Barton wants a shot at the No Rules Championship held by Magic, but he's got to beat him in a standard one-on-one match to get it, and that's what's about to happen.
Are you predicting a win for Barton, Myron? No, I'm predicting a match.
This next non-title match is scheduled for one fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Approaching the ring from Newark, New Jersey, weighing 330 pounds, he is the RWL No Rules Champion, the icon, the legend, Magic.
I don't know, guys. I'm kind of feeling Magic's new Huggy Bear style. It suits him a whole lot better than that plain old hoodie he used to the ring. This is a lot more stylish and, well, kind of befitting of a No Rules champion. But enough about the clothes. Magic's made no bones about Troll Barton and the No Rules title shot. Magic says if Barton can't beat him in straight standard match, then he's got no business even sniffing around the No Rules title. Logical in its own way, I guess.
I was in on the discussion, and it made sense to me. When Magic said it, I looked at Barton. I asked what he thought. He just nodded his head. He's in on this one all the way. 10 toes down, as they say. Well, the icon Magic's gonna give him a rough time. Troll Barton, of course, a well-established former super heavyweight champion, but I don't know about him facing the No Rules champ Magic.
His opponent from Dublin, Georgia, weighing 295 pounds, Troa Barton.
I gotta admit, it's kinda nice that Barton and Craig NBC block from the Ringside Army are back in a more subdued role. Naturally, because, well, when they was running things was very different. But Troll Barton, super heavyweight champion one time, he could become No Rules champion, but he's gonna have to beat Magic one-on-one here tonight to make it happen. I don't know if Troll Barton's gonna be able to do it. He does not have the same level of experience that Magic does. No, but he's got heart, and he's a little bit nuts.
Well, I suppose anyone that would challenge Magic for the No Rules title has got to have a couple of screws loose someplace. Troll Barton, all primed to go here against Magic as referee Charles Lucera sounds the bell, and here we go. They lock it up, collar and elbow center ring. Magic
As Barton up over the shoulders almost effortlessly, head first into the turnbuckle. Down goes Barton. There's a stomp to the midsection from Magic. The icon, the legend, the No Rules champion, imposing his will on Rwl Barton at the present time. A rebound off the ropes from Magic, and, big time cross body splash. 330 pounds coming down. Barton catches a stomp to the arm from Magic. He counters with a kick to the head. Magic down on the canvas now as Rwl Barton starts putting the boots, or sneakers in this case, to Magic. A rebound off the ropes, and he tried to retaliate with the splash, but no good. Magic got out of the way. Magic locks up Barton into the turnbuckle. Magic has him up, and look at this. Takes a running charge, puts him right into the turnbuckles, gathers him up a second time, and does it again. Rwl Barton must have had the wind knocked out of him on that one. Barton counters with a knee. Locks up Magic. Escorts him to the far right corner, head first into the turnbuckle, a chop to the throat. He is winding it up. Here it comes, a clothesline right across the throat of Magic. Down he goes. Rwl Barton with the advantage at the present time, and doing quite a little bit of showboating here to boot. Magic catches a kick before he can even stand up. Rwl Barton, always been extremely aggressive since his 2004 debut. And between 2004 and 2012, the Ringside Army ruled the roost around here in RWL. Greg Block, Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns, and Rwl Barton. Magic catches the side of the apron. Head first, a stomp to the leg from Rwl Barton. Referee Charles Lucera already counting. There's an elbow across the chest from Barton. Barton gathers Magic back up. Drives him towards the barricade, but doesn't quite make it. Barton takes himself inside. The referee continuing to count Magic on the outside. Rwl Barton currently in control of the situation, and he is definitely hungry for that No Rules title shot against Magic. Magic scoops him up, lays in a couple of rib breakers, and just tosses Barton aside like a sack of spuds. A couple of hard lefts, an elbow to the face. Barton in the corner as Magic tugs on his arm against the ropes. Rwl Barton rounded up again by Magic. He's going to go for it again. Slams Barton into the turnbuckle, picks him up, runs with him, and does it a second time. Rwl Barton now starting to take quite a beating at the hands of Magic. He's turning things around right here. I'm not sure he even wants to compete against Rwl Barton for the No Rules title. Head first into the turnbuckle, and a couple of elbows to the side of the head. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, but only a one. Barton kicking out pretty easily. Magic rounds him up and slams him right back down, allowing gravity to do the work. Magic takes himself to the top left turnbuckle. Rwl Barton slowly making his way to a standing position. Here comes Magic. The double axe handle finds the mark right across the top of Barton's head. Barton rolls to the outside. Magic already on his way there. And he's taking a moment to do a little bit of showboating for the fans here in Richmond. Magic rounds up Barton. Countered with a back body drop. Barton gathers Magic up over the shoulder, takes a running power slam on the floor on the outside. Talk about painful. Magic rolled back inside the ring by Rwl Barton. Barton makes his way back inside. Magic with a jumping neckbreaker takes him down quickly. What a match we've had here so far. A whole lot of back and forth. Barton whipped to the ropes. Magic ducks under. And a power slam center ring. Perfectly executed by the Jersey All-Pro Hall of Famer Magic. Magic countered by Barton. Barton rounds him up for a bear hug center ring. I doubt he'll be able to do it. Magic already battling his way out of that situation. Barton finally backs off. Magic takes him down with a clothesline. And Again, Magic turning things around for himself here. And if he doesn't want to face Barton in a no-rules match, all he's got to do is beat him. Magic rounds Barton up. Look at this. Whoa! Pendulum slam, and here's a pin. 1, 2. The first major near fall. But Rwl Barton still in the game here. As Magic rounds him up over the shoulder and goes for a second power slam. Rwl Barton, he's got to be out. As Magic takes himself to the top left turnbuckle. Here he comes, big time crossbody splash. Whoa, talk about hang time. Magic rounds up Barton. There's a discus punch. It drops him down again. Rwl Barton just getting stomped into the canvas here by Magic. Magic whips Barton to the ropes. There's another elbow. Takes Barton down to the canvas. Another stomp and yet another. Right to the face this time. Magic gathers him up again. Another discus punch. Barton starting to lose control of this situation pretty quickly as Magic runs him in for a third power slam center ring. Magic tosses him halfway across the ring by his ankle. And just certainly a revolting display of power. And Magic definitely showing off here. Barton momentarily stunned on the outside, and Magic rounds him up into a front cradle, slams him into the lip of the apron, and just lets him collapse. Rwl Barton definitely in big trouble here. Magic's gonna power slam him one more time out here on the floor. Referee Charles Lucera continues to count. A hard shot to the midsection from Magic. A knee to the midsection from Barton. Look at this, Rwl Barton battling back here. He's got, whoa! What a slam. A falcon arrow of sorts. Rwl Barton gets Magic back inside the ring. The count is beaten. And Barton trying to turn things around for himself here. He's got Magic up for a powerbomb and delivers it with authority. Barton with a stomp to the leg of Magic. And once again the tides have turned, this time in favor of Rwl Barton. Barton rounds up Magic. Whoa, Magic just shifted his weight, and boy did that plan backfire. Rwl Barton has to be tired of having the wind knocked out of him at this point. Magic rounds him up, a kick to the gut. Magic has him up for a powerbomb, but look at this, he is taking a short walk with Rwl Barton. He's gonna, he just pitched him to the floor from 10 feet up. Magic with an elbow drop from the top turnbuckle. And it's starting to look really bad for Rwl Barton as Magic rolls him back inside the ring. Takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Here he goes, another elbow drop, this time across the back of Rwl Barton. A stomp across the back. Magic takes a run for himself, rebounds off the ropes, misses with the running splash. Barton rolling out of the way just in the nick of time. Rwl Barton gets a hold of Magic, whips it. Ooh, Magic puts on the brakes but catches a clothesline from behind from Barton. Barton whips him out onto the apron. A hard right hand to Magic. A second. Magic still standing. A third. Finally, he goes down to the floor. Rwl Barton takes himself to the top right turnbuckle. Here he comes. An elbow drop right across the chest in retaliation. And a splash. On the outside with the referee still continuing the count here. Magic still laid out on the outside. Rwl Barton sort of poking fun at Magic. Well, Rwl Barton, definitely a fun-loving person despite his demeanor. Barton gathers up Magic, slams him down with another powerbomb on the outside. The count restarted. Another splash from Barton to Magic. And Magic in trouble on the outside as Barton begins to turn things around yet again. He may get that title shot after all. Rwl Barton gathers Magic back up. Finally gets him back inside the ring.
Barton taking a little bit of time. Getting back in there. Magic already up to one knee. Barton rounds him up, drives a knee right into the head, and quickly covers and hooks a leg. 1, 2. Again, no. Magic powering out. Barton gathers him up. And here it is one more time. That pendulum slam face first into the canvas. Barton, with what he's got left, goes for the cover here. 1, 2, 3. I do not believe it. Rwl Barton pulling off a massive win here over Magic.
Here's the time, 10 minutes and 36 seconds. Your winner, Rwl Barton.
Well, gents, Mr. Barton has just eliminated any doubts you boys might have had. And it looks like it's going to be Rwl versus Magic for the No Rules title at Coliseum Games. You're right, Myron. He does have a hell of a lot of heart. He used up every last bit of steam he had available to get this win.
Yeah, he got the win. And now he gets to get beat up with chairs and tables and whatnot against Magic. Well, I wish him luck. So do I. We'll be right back with more Rage in just a moment.
Our main event tonight, a non-title scrap between two of the all-time greatest ever, the living legend Bruno Sammartino, set to lock it up against the reigning Legends World Champion Macho Man Randy Savage.
Tonight's Rage main event is a non-title match, scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, from Abruzzi, Italy, residing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 245 pounds, the living legend, Bruno Sammartino.
Now you'll remember, Christy, at the start of the program I said I was trying to intersperse things with a little bit more variety. Well, here's an example. We hardly ever see Bruno Sammartino. So I said, you know, it's about time. And Macho Man, he's looking to face the best in the Legends division. Well then, you had to call Bruno Sammartino.
His opponent, along with Miss Elizabeth, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 254 pounds, the RWL Legends World Champion, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
The new Legends World Champion Macho Man Randy Savage, accompanied by Miss Elizabeth. He relieved Hot Rod Roddy Piper of the Legends title last month at the Memphis Million, and he has been enjoying a superior title reign. He faced Hulk Hogan recently, and now he's going up against Bruno Sammartino. Macho Man Randy Savage determined to face the very best that there is in the Legends division.
Y'all already know. I love Macho Man to pieces since he turned his life around and left Bell Unlimited. And it's definitely cool seeing him face off against some of the biggest stars we've got going. Like this match with Bruno, I can't say for sure Randy Savage has it in the bag. Bruno's a real one, and you don't stay at the top as long as Bruno did without being a top drawer performer, and Bruno's got that down.
Which is why this is going to be a terrific main event.
Two all-time greats from different generations. This is going to be an outstanding main event. Amazing to see Bruno Sammartino. We don't see him very often. Referee Charles Lucero sounds the bell. And here's our main event. Randy Savage rounds up Bruno after a swing and a miss for an atomic drop. Macho Man Randy Savage locks up Sammartino, has him up over the shoulders, hangs him up the top rope, and down goes Bruno. There's a stomp to the leg from the Macho Man. Macho Man Randy Savage slams the head of Sammartino down to the canvas. Bruno rounded up for a gut wrench suplex. Bruno Sammartino not faring very well at the present time, but counters with a set of elbows to back off Randy Savage. Rounds him up into a hammerlock. That's what you're going to see from Bruno Sammartino. Classic style wrestling. All the way. Inverted atomic drop from the Macho Man. Bruno counters with a jawbreaker. And right back into that hammerlock again. And again, Randy Savage disengages him with a shot to the midsection. Whips him to the far left corner. There's a clothesline from the Macho Man. Bruno Sammartino taken down. Here's a pin attempt. One. But only a one. Bruno Sammartino getting the right shoulder up.
A jab from Randy Savage, but a hip toss counter from Bruno. An elbow across the chest of the Macho Man. Sammartino rounds up Savage. Whips him towards the ropes. Back body drop for Macho Man. Here's a quick pin from Bruno. 1, 2, no. Just the one. Bruno Sammartino having to go right back to work on Macho Man Randy Savage, who is on the outside. Bruno off the top. Whoa! A flying shoulder. Amazing to see Bruno Sammartino going air, which hardly ever happens. A double leg snap to Randy Savage from Sammartino, who misses with the stomp. Savage with an elbow right to the forehead of Bruno Sammartino. They lock it up. Bruno getting Savage back inside the ring. Savage tries for the elbow again, runs into a bunch of shots and a knee to the head from Bruno. Bruno Sammartino turning things around here. After not, whoa, Bruno Sammartino firing up the crowd. Savage back up on his feet. Bruno whipped into the referee almost. Another gut-wrench suplex from Randy Savage. Miss Elizabeth looking on at ringside. Bruno getting his face gouged by the Macho Man. Bruno Sammartino rolls to the outside, practically at the feet of Miss Elizabeth. Savage through the ropes, and whoa, shoulder tackle. Down went Bruno Sammartino on the outside. Randy Savage escorts Bruno back towards the ring. He's resisting. Sammartino trying to battle back here. Some elbows to the midsection to Randy Savage. Sammartino locks him up, draws a knee right into the forehead of the Macho Man, right in front of Miss Elizabeth, no less. A clubbing overhead right from Bruno Sammartino, who has definitely turned things around for himself in this matchup after a strong start from Randy Savage. Savage rolls back inside the ring. Whoa! A hard shot from Bruno takes him right back down. The Legends World Champion in trouble as Sammartino locks in a heel hook stretch. Randy Savage laid out on the canvas as Sammartino moves back in relentlessly. And right back into that hammerlock yet again. Bruno Sammartino, definitely a classic wrestling scientific kind of guy. An elbow to the face of Randy Savage. Bruno rounds him up for a bear hug center ring. No ropes to get to. No means of egress for Randy Savage. He's going to have to battle his way out. And he doesn't even do it. He collapsed. Bruno Sammartino releasing the hold. And now Bruno. Whoa, Savage puts on the brakes. Bruno shoves him back. Another elbow to the head from the Macho Man. Here's another cover. One. But again, only a one. Sammartino still in the game here. A knee right to the chest of Sammartino from Randy Savage. Savage locks him up. Whips him towards the ropes. Ducks under. Here comes Bruno. Hip toss from Macho Man Randy Savage. Savage snaps the arm on Sammartino. Follows that up with a stomp to the midsection. Bruno has his arm snapped yet again by Macho Man. Savage rounds up Sammartino, escorts him towards the far right corner, smashes his head into the buckle. Gathers him up over the shoulder, but Sammartino quickly counters it into a DDT, dropping Savage right on the top of his head. And now Bruno Sammartino with an opportunity to turn things around again here. He steps out, comes back in for a quick reset, swings and misses with a jab. Savage whipped to the ropes. Sammartino ducks under. Savage gets a hold of him, tags him with a couple of hard shots. Sammartino makes his way to a standing position near the corner. Randy Savage warming up the buzz here. Whoa! Did you see that? Hung him up the top rope. And the hard way, too. Savage up on the top turnbuckle. Sammartino up to a standing position. Both men missed their move. Sammartino goes behind on Savage. Plays him up against the ropes. Takes him down to the canvas. A rope-assisted stomp to the chest right in front of Miss Elizabeth. Bruno Sammartino with the advantage at the present time. And putting the boots to Macho Man Randy Savage. The Legends World Champion in some serious jeopardy here as Bruno really starts to pull away. Bruno Sammartino raining hard right hands on the head of Macho Man Randy Savage as Miss Elizabeth looks on. Bruno really working the crowd here. And why not? He is extremely popular. Another set of hard right hands to the head of Savage. Bruno Sammartino slowly makes his way to the middle rope. Here he comes. A big-time elbow drop right across the throat of Macho Man. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Randy Savage powering out, perhaps at the insistence of Miss Elizabeth, as Bruno moves in on him again. Savage locks him up. A shoulder tackle takes Sammartino down to the canvas. Bruno rounded up again by Savage. Whip towards the corner. Savage moves in on him. Rounds him up. And again Sammartino counters with a DDT to the head of Randy Savage. A clothesline from Sammartino takes Savage down to the canvas again. Bruno Sammartino. Never, not an ounce of quitting this guy. Whipped into the corner by Savage. Now being yanked against the ropes. Macho Man setting it up here. He's going to do something bad here. Off the rope. Whoa! Beautiful crossbody. As Bruno makes his way to a standing position against the ropes. A chop across the chest from Randy Savage. The leg draped over the middle rope and tug of war time again from the Macho Man. Savage with a kick to the midsection, a rebound off the ropes, and a knee right to the head of Sammartino, a rebound and a clothesline as well. Bruno Sammartino laid out for a pin. 1, 2. But again, no, a near fall. Bruno Sammartino absolutely refusing to give up the ship here. Macho Man doesn't want to hear it from the fans. Sammartino counters, back up on his feet. A set of shots to the midsection of Randy Savage. Bruno with a snap near the Savage, a rebound off the ropes, and a kick right to the face of the Macho Man. Unbelievable. Bruno Sammartino absolutely opening up a can here on the Macho Man. A kick to the midsection. Up over the shoulder. Into a submission, a torture rack submission. Bruno again releasing the hold. Randy Savage is bloody and busted open. Savage counters with a knee. Sammartino likewise counters with another knee. Savage escorted to the corner by Sammartino. Bruno slams his head into the buckle one more time here. And oh, here we go. Bruno opening up with a set of shots to the body. And now a boot to the throat. Randy Savage absolutely collapses center ring. Bruno covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. This one is all over. Well, Bruno Sammartino picks himself up a pinfall win.
Here's the time, 9 minutes and 54 seconds. And your winner, Bruno Sammartino.
A surprise win, yet not completely unexpected. Given that it's Bruno Sammartino we're talking about picking up a 3-count pinfall win over the Legends World Champion Macho Man Randy Savage. It's not likely to come back and haunt Savage at any point in the future, but it did happen.
It sure did, and I mean Bruno went to town on the guy. You can see it for yourself right here. Savage had no answer.
He most certainly did not. Bruno Sammartino with a 3-count pinfall win. That is going to conclude this week's edition of RWL Snarl. As always, we thank all of you for joining us and for supporting RWL. RWL Snarl will return this Saturday night. Wally Coco, Johnny Bianco, and Hangman Ted Williams. For Christy, Carl, and myself, I've been Don Nixon. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.